Welcome everyone to Gamer Melt. Today, FSR works great with older GPUs. AMD's RX 7000 GPUs are massive. 2 new AMD GPU specs, release date, and price, and Nvidia's next-gen GPUs go what? Okay, it's news time, and first up for today, AMD's FSR has been out for a little while now, and it seems to be a pretty close contender to Nvidia's DLSS. But the big thing that really makes AMD's version so much more exciting is the fact that it works on tons more GPUs. Not only does FSR work on Nvidia's cards, but even much older cards like AMD's RX 500 series. The issue is that a lot of these older cards don't support FP16 or half precision compute, which means they have to fall back on FP32. The problem is that no one really knew what this would do in terms of performance. That is, until now. Thanks to AMD releasing the FSR code on GPU Open, CapFrameX was able to test the RX 6800 XT with FP16 turned off. That meant they could see what the performance difference would be from using those older cards. And according to their test, you lose about 6% performance without FP16. Basically, older cards that fall back on FP32 should still get a big performance jump, minus about 6%. Of course, that is a small test, but I think it's actually great news for anyone still using these older GPUs. Of course, with all this new hardware coming out, it can get tough to know what to buy. That's why I offer my PC hardware suggestions at kit.co/gamermelt. In it, I go over why you may want to buy one thing over another, from GPUs to CPUs and more, as well as provide tips when buying certain components. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll try to reply as soon as I can. Plus, when you make a purchase, it helps the channel out at no additional cost to you. So don't wait and visit kit.co/gamermelt or click the link in the description below. Next up for today, if you've been following the channel, and if you like PC hardware news, make sure to subscribe. Anyway, if you have, you saw my last video which went over a reply from the leaker Copite7 Kimmy. In it, he simply said 15,360, which refers to the number of cores in AMD's next-gen Navi. And that's a huge deal because it's 3 times the amount of cores in AMD's RX 6900 XT. Well, it looks like that could seriously be the case, as the leaker Bondrude of the Beyond 3D forum essentially said the same thing. The difference here is that he actually corrected some of the math. In my last video, I assumed that AMD doubled the cores in each CU, and that more or less is the case, but AMD has apparently gotten rid of CUs as a structure in their architecture. Instead, they're now only using just WGP. As shown by 3dcenter.org, 120 CUs makes up 30 WGPs, and there are 30 WGPs per GPU module, so each module has 7,680 cores. There are then 60 WGPs total since there are 2 GPU modules. Basically, there are now 2 leakers claiming Navi 31 actually has 3 times the cores of Navi 21. Not only that, but Greymon55 claims that Navi 31 still only has a 256-bit memory bus. And of course, that's surprising given how many more cores it should have. But apparently, AMD is able to do that because they're increasing the Infinity cache to as much as 512 megabytes, which is absolutely massive. Basically, AMD isn't playing around with their next-gen GPUs. Next up, we have a ton of new leaks that cover just about everything on AMD's 2 upcoming GPUs, the RX 6600 XT and non-XT cards. Starting things off, we have a report from Neowin. And according to their sources, the 6600 XT is set to come in at $349, with the non-XT model at $299. According to them, the 6600 XT is faster than the 3060, which is of course $329, but not quite as fast as the 3060 Ti, which is $399. Now, I will point out that Neowin claims this information is a month old, so things could change, but I will say that pricing sounds about right given the performance is where they claim. Of course, MSRP is barely a suggestion at this point, and we know AIBs will raise the price to some pretty extreme numbers, even at release. And speaking of release, our next leak comes from Video Cards, who shared a post by known leaker Greymon55. According to him, the 6600 XT will be announced at China Joy on July 30th. Not only that, but video card sources told them that the announcement is coming July 30th, with the unboxing embargo released for August 6th. And finally, the release date is set for August 11th. So given those are correct, we won't have to wait too much longer. Ultimately, I think pricing will depend on how many AMD can actually produce, and I'll have an affiliate link in the description of this video for when those are finally released. It won't cost you anything more, and it helps the channel out. And lastly for today, we have some big news on Nvidia's upcoming RTX 4000 GPUs, or whatever they end up being called. Either way, the story comes from a couple tweets by known leaker Greymon55. First up, he states that the next-gen gaming GPUs have been finalized, and they are codenamed Ada Lovelace, so that shouldn't change from now until release. Next, he claims that the cards are set to come on TSMC's 5nm process, though he's not sure if it's based on N5 or N5P, which is TSMC's improved 5nm process. Either way, that's a big node change from the 8nm Samsung process that Nvidia is currently using on their RTX 3000 cards. At the end of the day, Nvidia's next gen should be a pretty serious jump in performance, though as we saw a little while back from Kopite7 Chemi, the company could end up creating a GPU or two based on their Hopper architecture, specifically if AMD's next gen cards are faster than Ada Lovelace. Time, as always, will tell. So while that does it for today, are you pumped for Nvidia's next gen GPUs, or are you more excited for AMD's cards? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you liked the video, please subscribe. And as always, have a great day.